And then we'll learn how to do another animation similar to the one we did.
I wasn't expecting that. Hello and welcome to Nicole Reacts, the show in which I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for 15 years, in that time having worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. I also own two smaller non-marketing businesses, so I understand marketing both in the client needing services side of things as well as the agency owner providing services side of things. I know I said I wasn't going to spend any money on this channel until I was monetized, but Elgato had a 30% off sale and I just went for it with some of my birthday money. Thanks, Mom. This microphone is courtesy of my mother and the mic arm. So I'm excited to have good audio. I also got the camera. The problem with the camera is that the field of view is very wide. And something that you don't know unless you're in this room is that the wallpaper that's behind me does not extend very much beyond where you can see it. So I need to figure that out before I plug the camera in because you can see where I didn't quite line things up and all that in the edges of things. So I'll figure that out at some point. But for now, at least I've got the good audio. A lot of these marketing trainings we watch are either a series of short videos, like 7 to 10 minutes, right? Or they're 1 hour sort of general social media trainings. And the thing is that in both of those scenarios, we could argue, well, if someone wanted to argue with me, they could say, well, Nicole, they don't have time to go into depth of exactly how to do something, right? If you go to a workshop in real life, it's going to be at least a couple of hours long. So I found something. It's from a channel called Webyoda, which has almost 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And it makes quite the claim in its title. I'm going to read it to you. How to make an affiliate marketing website 2023 make $21,000 a month passive income. We've got an income claim in here and the promise that this video is going to tell us exactly how to do something. It's over 3 hours long, guys. So I'm going to have to record this in multiple parts because I've only got 2 hours to record right now. Yeah, the math isn't going to math for a while with me having 6 hours straight to record, but we're going to watch a 3.5 hour training about how to build an affiliate marketing website. So I'll be very curious how technical they get. And I did accidentally watch the first few seconds just to make sure that it was going to play. And the person at the beginning said that this was going to be able to be built for free. And as someone who builds websites, whenever I hear someone say that a website is free, we know in tech or otherwise that if something's free, you're the product. So I'm really curious how you're going to build a website entirely for free. Because typically you at least have to buy a domain name and maybe something like web hosting, or if you're going to use a builder like Squarespace or Shopify, you're going to have to pay a monthly fee for that. So there's going to be some expenses. So I'm going into this skeptical, but I'm also going into this thinking I will enjoy this tactical training. So let's see how we can build a website that could be making us $21,000 a month without us having to do anything. Jeez, I've been wasting the last 15 years of my life, apparently. Anyway, let's get this party started. So please appreciate that this is the thumbnail of this video. Wait, let me move my face for a second so that you can see the full glory of the thumbnail. Affiliate marketing website tutorial, simple, fast, easy, free. And I like the flower crown and the walkway leading up to the tropical island paradise. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be good. Okay. But it's going to be long. So grab a snack, grab a drink. We'll hang in there.
If you're looking to make a fully functional professional affiliate marketing website so you can start making money today and up to $50,000 in affiliate income by the end of the year at absolutely no cost to you, then you've come to the right place.
That background looked really fake. So when he comes back in, notice that. Ooh, an animation. Webyoda. Webyoda, why is it a spider? Okay, this in case you're listening to this, there's a woman on the screen. She's wearing a flowy short white dress and she's got her flower crown on. And it went through a couple of sort of video filters and now she's standing there with praying hands and she looks like she feels a little bit awkward about the whole thing. So, I'm curious to see where this is going. And now she's walking, looks like toward a set of stairs which are surrounded by like a stone wall. And now she's dancing. So on the screen on the bottom, it says build the website. And on this screen, it's saying in about 2 hours time. The whole thing is over 3 hours. So I'm really curious how they're going to fill up that extra hour, but she's skipping now. She keeps grabbing onto her flower crown. I don't think it is securely attached. With no experience needed. With no experience needed. So she's still dancing around in this little courtyard thing while wearing her little white dress and flower crown. She doesn't look like she's really into it. I don't know, maybe like your partner says, "Oh, go over there and dance around cute." It looks like she's responding to that kind of prompt. No hidden costs. Okay, now she's like, I don't know, not electric sliding, but skipping / electric sliding across the screen. Let's get started. And she's coming toward the camera and she just gave us a kiss.
Hi, I'm Bethany, and I loved.
Okay, her name is Bethany. Okay, I feel like I've just watched you dance for a minute. I would have liked to know your name sooner, but okay.
Right now, I'm at Cabo San Souci in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, one of my favorite travel spots. I recently.
I'm at this travel spot, and it looks like around her shoulder area on the left side, it looks like I don't know if there's a green screen behind her, but it's a little glitchy. It looks like also around her hair. Tell me if you think she's really in Jamaica or if this is a green screen.
Got the idea to make an affiliate website so I could share my writings with others.
Yeah, her arm also, her elbow on her left side. It's a little kind of shimmering. When people either blur their background or use a green screen, and sometimes it creates those sort of harsh lines. I think that's what's going on here.
And offer my readers practical advice. I wanted my website to be mobile friendly, easy to navigate, and simple to update. I also needed a shopping cart and a blog. It turned out so well that my husband and I decided to make a tutorial to show others how to use WordPress.
I built one website and it went so well that my husband and I are making a whole tutorial of how to build a website in WordPress. Okay. So just so you guys know too, WordPress is the platform I've specialized in for the last almost 17 years now. So I have a lot of experience. I probably built or worked on 500 WordPress websites at least over the last 15 years. I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but I used to do classes called the One Day Website where I'd have people come in, we'd pre-buy their domain names, I'd install WordPress for them, and we would build their websites as part of the class. And I did that sometimes twice a year for at least 5 years. So if you think that at least 25 to 30 people going through each of those, plus people I've worked with individually, I think that 500 is not necessarily an exaggeration.
I hope you enjoy making your website as much as I had fun making mine.
Thanks, Bethany. Hello, I'm Yoda, and welcome to my YouTube channel.
So Bethany introduced, and now we're back to Yoda. So it sounds like she's at a couples resort in Jamaica. So what I'm wondering, is this her partner that she's in a couple with that helped her build the website? Otherwise, I'm not sure why he's in the video.
Let's go ahead and jump in with both feet so you can start making money online as soon as possible. Now, my intentions with this video is to teach you how to make passive income online, and the way we're going to do that is by using affiliate marketing. Let me start by explaining why I got involved in affiliate marketing. It might not be the same reason you are. For you, you might have decided you wanted to get involved in affiliate marketing because you wanted to make some extra money on the side.
Most people get involved in a business venture because they're interested in it and want to make money. If I wanted to make extra money and I really liked being outside, I might think, oh, you know what? I would really love to help people weed their garden beds. Or if I thought, oh, I really like kids and I really need extra money, I might become a babysitter. So typically, if you're going to do a business, whether it's on the side or full time, it's because you need money and because you have an interest or a skill set that you can use to make money. But I don't really necessarily care about this guy's story, but we're also going to play it because we have to get through it to get to the tutorial part. But I'm reserving the right here to potentially summarize what he's saying to save your time. If he tells it in a funny way and it's ridiculous, I might leave it in just for your enjoyment. But I will make the editorial call to say that if I'm going to make you watch this, I promise it will at least be entertaining. I know we're probably not going to learn anything, but if I keep it in, it'll at least be moderately entertaining. Also love these sort of stock graphics here. He has a little pink piggy bank and it says Making Money Online 101 within a graphic that looks like he might have downloaded it somewhere on the internet. I don't know what his branding is because it doesn't really match with the ethereal woman in a white dress dancing around a patio in greenery, but okay.
For me, my goal was quite different, and I think that you might want to consider my goal as well as an in-game solution.
So, again, in case you're listening, we've just transitioned to a picture of them like in the 90s when it was really cool to go to those like murder mystery parties or something. And you would get dressed up, and sometimes there'd be a photo corner where you could take pictures like you were in a Wild West saloon or something. There'd be sepia tones, there'd be props of like liquor bottles and like guns or something, and then maybe it would get printed out on a fake wanted poster. We just transitioned to a picture of two people. It looks like her and him in previous times, but dressed up in Wild West gear in a sepia toned photo. I'm guessing they were at a theme party, but like I said, I feel like this was a cool thing to do. I feel like my parents went to some murder mystery parties as part of their social life at that time in the sort of late 80s, early 90s period.
So if you go back about 5 years, me and Bethany got in a conversation about financial freedom.
The text on the screen says slightly more than 5 years. Yeah, it looks like this was, like I said, these parties were a moment in time culturally. So I have a feeling this was closer to 30 or more years ago.
And how to score financial independence so that you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. So I ended up doing a bunch of research on that, and every time the answer was always passive income.
Again, we have a calculator with the words passive income. Looks like they're written almost like in a sort of fake crayon kind of style. And now there is little fireworks going off. So it's so weird to be going from these different design styles, right? To go from, oh, we're like outside and we're in nature. Okay, now we're using stock graphics. Okay, now we're using photographs of ourselves. Like none of these visuals match each other, which is why when you watch these presentations, it can feel really weird and spammy because there's no continuity whatsoever.
So I decided that we needed to get involved in passive income if we wanted to have a chance at financial freedom anytime soon. So most people go an entire lifetime working really hard, and if they're lucky, they have enough money in the end to live a nice, comfortable life. For us, we wanted to find financial freedom sooner in life so that we would have an opportunity to enjoy more of life.
Yeah, most people would like to make a lot of money sooner in their life than later. Like this is not something unique to you, dude.
So let's fast forward 5 years. Bethany and I are very close to reaching our financial freedom goals.
So they're close to reaching their financial freedom goals. This picture is of them, I think. I can't tell. They're both wearing ski goggles and helmets, but they're wearing little bunny ears and they're at a ski slope, clearly in the mountains. So skiing's an expensive hobby. So maybe this is a hashtag made it post, but I don't know what the bunny ears are about.
And I wanted to pay it forward and give everybody else the opportunity to learn from what we have done so that you can apply these things to your world and potentially reach financial freedom as well.
You know, when you're learning to first use PowerPoint, I didn't learn to use PowerPoint when I was in school because I'm old, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe kids in like 3rd grade start using PowerPoint a little bit or something these days. And you find all of the different transitions. Like you can make it wipe across the screen. And in this case, we're seeing the ripple effect. So I feel like we're just gonna see a lot of stock graphics, a lot of weird transitions. None of them are going to match, and it's going to be really generic information. So I'm going to keep an eye on the time and see when the actual training to build the website starts because we're still hearing about his story and we're about 3 minutes in.
Originally, I wasn't going to make an affiliate marketing video first. In fact, I was going to make a video specifically about financial freedom. So if you go to webyoda.com/freedom, this page will come up. Now, what this page is, it's the script for an entire video that I planned on making. But you're saying to yourself, but Yoda, this video is not about financial freedom. It's about using affiliate marketing to make passive income. So why are we talking about financial freedom? I will tell you.
We're talking about financial freedom because that is one of the buzzwords that I use to reel people in who really need money. And this is a free training, but I'm going to clearly try to upsell you on something or get you in my ecosystem so I can upsell you on something later.
Now, financial freedom is not about being a millionaire. Financial freedom is about having enough money coming in on a regular basis to cover your bills indefinitely. Now, the question now is, why didn't I make this video first? But as I got deep into the content, I realized that the first thing you're going to need to do was to make an affiliate marketing website so you could start making money online, because otherwise you're not going to reach financial freedom.
Okay, I sort of respect that. It's like, hey, rather than spending time on mindset stuff, I'm going to teach you a hard skill that's going to make you money first. Okay, Let's see it.
So it turned out to make more sense to first make a video on generating passive income using affiliate marketing, and then I can worry about making this financial freedom video. So anyway, I wanted to mention the financial freedom document so you had access to it, because I really didn't want you to sell yourself short. So you might have come into this just looking to make some extra money on the side, but now you can set a secondary goal of potentially reaching financial freedom.
I think most people would like to make a lot of money by working as little as possible. I feel like most people would not turn that down. I think what most people think of doing it on the side is they're trying to be realistic about it, which I think is smart.
So the next question you might have is, how much money can you expect to earn via passive income?
All right, I'm not sure where we left this off because some religious people just came to the door. They asked me if the man of the house was home. So although I said we weren't interested, I'm sure they will probably have to hear it from him. But anyway, I appreciate right now he's about to make an income claim. So he's going to try to give us a reason for watching this video for 3 hours. I mean, he already made the income claim in the title, but let's see what he says verbally here.
In affiliate marketing. I'm going to go ahead and use this document as a guide. And just so you know, when we started out, we didn't expect to be doing as well as we're doing. And one of the first things I wanted to point.
Okay, so this is interesting. So he's showing a screenshot of a website. And that website is, he's logged into it. It's app.impact.com. So if you go to app.impact.com, you can sign up for basically an affiliate account. It's an affiliate portal. And what this allows you to do, for example, so I sign in and let's say that I want to be an affiliate for Canva, for MailChimp, and for Zoom. I can look up those companies. If they're in the portal, I can apply to be an affiliate. And when it's approved, I basically have one account that I sign into and I'll be able to see all my affiliate earnings and all of that. So it looks like he's logged in here. But the thing is, this is a screenshot. This isn't a live website. You can easily doctor these kind of things. He's showing us here that today's earnings are $750. His total pending is $67,625. And his balance is $20,875. But what's interesting is below the balance, it says auto withdraw when $100. So the question is, if he's reached $20,000, why hasn't it auto withdrawn? Because that's clearly over $100 and it's clearly been over $100 for a while. So that seems odd. Yeah, if he was really confident in this, he could show us this. He could log into app.impact.com live and show us on the live website what it looks like. Even then, he could be manipulating it, but this is just a screenshot, and this is the easiest thing to manipulate.
Point out is that this is something that you can do. It's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it certainly is doable by anyone if you follow the same steps that we did.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but I'm implying that you can make thousands of dollars a month right away with no experience. I don't know. Isn't that like the very definition of a get-rich-quick scheme?
We spent $31 to buy hosting, just like you'll have an opportunity to do. In our first year, we made $32,000 for the whole year.
How is he only paying $31 for website hosting? Okay, I'm sure he'll get into that, but that seems low.
And as you
even something like HostGator or something, which has I think a $2.99 a month plan on its lowest level, $2.99 times 12, yeah, that might be around 31. Okay, I don't know, still seems low.
You can see here we're going to get nearly $21,000 this month alone from this affiliate partner, and they owe us about 3 times that much.
Why do they owe you? It's supposed to auto withdraw for every $100. Are you going to explain that?
We're making about $600-700 a day as well. Just so you know, the reason why the total pending is about 3 times what they're about to pay is because there's usually a 2 to 3 month delay from getting paid from the affiliate marketing programs.
Yeah, I have to clear that the transaction was made, the person made a purchase, and that they didn't return it, probably.
The reason is they usually have a money-back guarantee.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
90 days.
And if somebody asks for a refund, they don't want to have already paid you if the person never actually kept the product.
Ding, ding.
So they have to wait for the refund period to expire. Then once it has, then your payments get unlocked and they send you a payment. So what is passive income?
But it wouldn't be locked up for that long. So this $750 he's theoretically getting paid today is something based off of work he did 90 days ago. So why would this balance keep accruing? It doesn't make sense that it would accrue.
Let's first start with understanding the difference between earners and entrepreneurs. An earner is any person that has a regular job where your work, effort, and time is what allows you to get paid. They decide how much they're going to pay. You do the work, they pay you. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, finds a way to make money off other people's time and effort.
Or an entrepreneur wants to set up their own work environment. If you're a solo entrepreneur, you're not making money off the backs of other people because you're the one doing all the work. So this is not true for everybody.
A really good example of entrepreneur is people who have money already, is that they might purchase a property and then they rent that property out. Now they own the property and the person gives them money every month. So the person that's renting went to their job, and at the end of the month, they took some of the money they made and they give it to the owner of the house. That in itself is an example of passive income.
I've never been a landlord before, but I don't know. I understand that it's sort of passive, but if there's ever a problem, like the water heater breaks or there's a giant flood in the basement, you have to deal with that. Like it's not without its problems and it's not without spending any time on it.
Now, for us, we're not going to be buying houses just yet. However, let's go ahead and discuss what the short answer for passive income is.
I love how I wanted to do a whole video about this, but I thought building a website would be more important. And then he's just going through this point by point anyway. So he is making a video about this.
Basically, passive income is money that you earn in a way that doesn't require you to be actively working all the time. Let me give you an example. I'm an affiliate with Amazon. Let's say I go onto my Facebook and I put a post about my favorite whey protein. And then I put a link to that product in the post. Now I submit the post, and then I go out for dinner, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden I made money. How? Because people read my post, they took my advice, they clicked on the link, and they purchased the protein, and then Amazon gave me a piece of it. But that's typically the kind of passive income we're going to be looking at. But if you collect up enough of that passive income, then you can do things like buy houses. So now that we know a little...
All right, so I'm going to burst your balloon. So apologies there. But if you're watching this channel, I'm sure that you would rather know the truth and have me blow smoke up your ass. So allow me to talk about 2 affiliate scenarios that I know to be true and show you that the way he's implying you're going to make a lot of money is actually pretty unrealistic. For example, me. Hi, it's me. I have a blog and I've had the blog for 17 years. I have around 2,000 blog posts on this website, on our company website. If you go back, you can read my first post back in 2007, and you'll see that I posted on a pretty regular basis, some periods more than others over the last 17 years. So that's why I have almost 2,000 blog posts. On some of these blog posts, actually, I would say most of them, I have put some Google AdSense ads. So basically, when you have a blog, there are tiers of traffic that allow you different income opportunities. So if you have a blog with relatively low traffic, basically AdSense will take anybody. But once your blog reaches a certain amount of traffic, you can start applying to be part of more lucrative ad networks. Now, sadly, I do not spend all my time trying to get people to visit my blog. So I've stayed in that kind of lower tier. So I use Google AdSense. I make about $20 a month off of Google AdSense. So I'll put on the screen right now what my traffic has been the last couple of months, just to give you an idea of how much traffic I normally get. And it's the basic idea that I don't get a lot of traffic. So my ads show a certain amount and they get clicked on a certain amount, and I make approximately $20 a month. Some months it's a little more, some months it's a lot less, but I would say that's a fair amount to say. So basically, I have enough ads on my website to pay for my web hosting every year. That's the amount of money I make. Or I can take myself out to a really nice dinner, maybe with one other person. Again, it's not a huge part of like my business. It's just something I dabble in so that I can keep my feet a little bit wet. And let's use a better example of affiliate marketing. So one of my clients has a Facebook page with about 500,000 people on it. And he affiliates for a few things, but we'll use his Amazon affiliate as an example because I know that one. So he affiliates some of his products, but also products that he likes. And he makes about $30,000 a year off of affiliates. Not enough to buy a house, even when you have a very large and very engaged audience like he has. So yeah, obviously them claiming that we're going to make $21,000 a month off affiliate marketing with our WordPress website is something that I can almost guarantee you is not realistic. But we're going to watch this whole 3.5 hour thing just to make sure. Let's get back to it.
A little bit about passive income. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at affiliate marketing and see why that's the...
Why not just make slides if you're going to talk about stuff? Why am I watching you scroll on a really long website?
right choice for us. The concept of affiliate marketing is simple. You promote somebody else's products and services, and in turn, they pay a commission for any sales you produce. But the advantages of affiliate marketing are what make it the best passive income solution. Number one, you don't need to create or own any products. Number two, that means you don't have any inventory costs. Number three, there's no risk of losing money getting started. Four, this is a real passive income stream, meaning you literally can make money while you sleep. Number five, you have the potential for exponential growth. So unlike an earner that is capped by what their employer is going to pay them,
You're not capped on what your employer is going to pay you because you can find a different employer that will pay you more. He said a bunch of stuff that isn't quite true here, which we can talk about, like the fact that you make money while you sleep. The only reason you're making money while you sleep is because you front loaded the work. You're still doing work. You're just getting the money later from that work. So this idea that you're just laying on a beach somewhere and people are just sending you money is like not it. Also, this graphic is really stupid. So in case you're listening, it's somebody with one like with their hands, and there's this like sort of circle between the hands, but it looks very like computery. It has these little lines coming from it. And he superimposed the words affiliate marketing, and he keeps putting little numbers for each of his points. So we're at point 5 right now.
you can add as many revenue streams as you want through affiliate marketing, which means your potential to make money is unlimited. Number 6, if you choose to, you can stay anonymous. So for example, when I got started, the first thing I did was make a how to make a WordPress website video. I'm not in the video at all. It doesn't show a picture of me at all. It's just me talking and a bunch of screenshots.
But how do you build a social media audience without having any kind of identity? I know that the websites like the Dodo or whatever don't really have a social media identity, but they at least have a certain amount of sort of viral content that they share. In the Dodo's example about animals, for example. But yeah, I think it would be difficult to stay entirely anonymous while also building a loyal following, in particular now that we have to do video marketing. But anyway,
Number 7, you have the luxury of remote work, meaning you're location independent and time of day independent.
a lot of jobs are location and time independent.
So basically, if you have a laptop and the access to the internet, no matter where you're at, you have the ability to make more revenue streams. And number 8, you're not the help desk. So for example, if you sell an item on Amazon and somebody's not happy with their purchase, they don't contact you, they contact Amazon.
Yeah, but you're only making 3% off the sale on Amazon. There's different product categories where you make more, and there's some product categories where you make less, but in general, it's around that 2 to 3% mark. So if I throw in, I don't know, a $15 giant pack of toilet paper and you get affiliate commission from that, you're getting 45 cents. So you have to sell a lot to start making the amount of money where you can buy houses.
As a pro tip, you don't have to be the help desk. When you have a potential customer ask you a question, go ahead and answer those questions to the best of your ability, because this can double or triple your sales in the long run.
If you sell products, know about your products because people are going to ask questions about them. Yeah.
So now that you know why we want to do affiliate marketing, now we need to know how to do affiliate marketing.
So now we have a graphic of a picture of an open book and it says affiliate marketing, and there's all these generic icons around it, like little bar graphs and little charts. Oh my God.
And to do that affiliate marketing, we're first going to have to build a website. Once we've completed our website, then I'm going to show you 9 different affiliate methods for making money with your website.
Okay, so we're going to learn how to make money with a website. I thought we were just going to learn how to build a website. We're 9 minutes in. Okay. I'm not sure if that's going to be in this video or not.
And it turns out many of these methods can be combined to have multiple revenue streams on your website. So we're just about ready to get started on our affiliate marketing website, but there's one more decision we need to make before we actually start working on our website.
Oh man, all of these. Every time he transitions something, he uses a different thing. This one was like a sort of bounce effect. And watching someone else scroll or watching things bounce or something really bothers me. Excuse me while I get a little bit motion sick here as he transitions around the screen.
So I want to go up to the section.
I don't want to watch you scroll. Just make slides and put the text on the screen, or say, let me scroll to here and cut the part out where you're scrolling.
On selling online. And you might want to read through this section to get some better ideas. But in general, what we need to do is decide what area you want to focus on. What area do you want to make money in? These are the top 48 niches people use to generate money online. Your goal is to decide which of these areas you're good at.
I'm just going to read you the top 10 so that you understand the sort of things that are on the screen. Number 1, art. Number 2, health and fitness. Number 3, sports. Number 4, diet and weight loss. Number 5, travel. Number 6, gaming. Number 7, fishing. Number 8, beauty. Number 9, technology. Number 10, pets and animal care. So just to give you an idea of the sort of when he says a niche, what he's talking about.
Which of these areas interest you? Which of these areas do you want to start with first? Obviously, you have to pick a direction you want to go in on the types of things that are of interest to you. A very common one is to make a reviews website, and you can review things that are relative to the stuff that you're interested in. Bethany, for example, made a travel website, and that travel website was called YourUltimateVacation.com. It contains information of some of the best travel destinations in the world, and if anybody decides to book travel through her website, she makes a nice commission. Once you decide on the category that's best for you,
Do these kind of websites still work anymore, though? I don't know. I'd have to see your social media. Like, you'd have to be a sort of trustworthy person for me to be like, oh, yes, let me book this vacation package off this random website.
you're ready to start your website. Now, the first step in creating a website is you need a domain name. The domain name is your website name. Now, in Bethany's case, she picked YourUltimateVacation.com when she wanted to do a vacation website. When I wanted to do technology stuff, I picked Webyoda.com. So you need to decide on a domain name that best represents what you plan to accomplish in your website. It could be your name, it could be a brand, it could be YodaReviews.com if I planned on doing product reviews. Basically, a domain name can be anything you want. So maybe you already have a domain name picked out, and if you do, that's awesome. You're ready to proceed.
If it's available, obviously.
But if you don't have a domain name chosen yet and you're confused of how to proceed, just leave a comment below the video that says, hey, Yoda, can you help me with my domain name and tell me a little bit about what you're looking to do? And I can give you some advice on the domain name options that you might want to consider so you can proceed.
And I can send you my affiliate link for where to purchase your domain name. So I make a couple of bucks when you do.
Once you've decided on a domain name, you're officially ready to start your website. And that's some really good news right there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start building our website.
All right, we're at the 11-minute mark. He says we're starting, but let's see if we actually start.
Oh, yeah. And since it comes up a lot in
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say we're starting, and then I'm going to do a complete aside.
viewer comments, I promise to do my best to talk slower to make things easier to follow, starting right now. In this
His background looks so fake. It looks like it's like a soundboard, but it's clearly like green screen because it looks a little bit too perfect. You know what I mean?
WordPress tutorial, you'll learn how to build a website that has an amazing intro video, professional logo, eye-catching graphics, and all the bells and whistles the pros use.
I love how he said he was going to talk slower, and he is not. I'm fine with the speed, but I obviously talk fast too. So if you're needing to slow me down, you probably will enjoy him being slower too.
At absolutely no cost to you. This video uses all the current web design and web development techniques to build a fully responsive website that automatically adjusts to meet the screen needs of any computer, laptop, tablet, phone, or any other handheld device.
Yep, responsive design is the standard and has been for a while, but good for you for giving people the word of what it is.
To get started, the only hard cost we have is web hosting, and that's where your website lives, and that's going to run us $3 to $10 a month. With your web hosting, you'll get a free domain, a value of $50.
Hosting first year $31, and he says it costs $3 to $10 a month. 3 times 12 is 36, not 31. So I don't know where he's getting the number 31.
$15, as well as an SSL key, which makes your web pages secure, and that has a value of about $99. As for software requirements, there are none. Everything we're going to need, we're going to do online. As for system requirements, this website tutorial is compatible with both Windows and iOS systems. All you need is your favorite browser and access to the internet, and you're ready to go.
So he's saying the domain name is free. And I don't know how he's doing that. If he's using like a website builder tool, like maybe they throw in a domain name for free. And you can have a free secure certificate if the web host uses Let's Encrypt. I'll put some information about Let's Encrypt in the show notes. But you can also just ask your web host if they use Let's Encrypt. It's a secure certificate that automatically renews itself, and it's free. And it's an online initiative basically to make sure that everyone who wants one can have a secure certificate without there being a financial barrier to that, because it does keep your website more secure. And in particular, if you're obviously taking credit card payments or doing some other sort of sensitive information transactions, you need to have one on your website to be able to do that.
I recommend Chrome and Firefox as browsers of choice, as I've had some students in the past that had complaints about compatibility issues with Safari, Opera, and Internet Explorer. Now, during this course, if you run into any troubles, just leave a comment below the video and I'll be more than happy to assist you. And don't be shy about asking for help. I've been a webmaster instructor, aka the Webyoda, for over 20 years, and I love to hear from my students. But if you could, please pay it forward. If you could like the video, subscribe to the video, share the video, tell your friends about the video. Those are the kind of things that help get the word out there so other students like you can find this video. There was something else. Oh, at the end of this video, I'm going to discuss the 4 biggest mistakes people make that drastically hurt your search engine placement. Turns out the solutions for these 4 things are really easy and they're free. So I think we're ready to get started. So without further delay, let's go ahead and look at the website we're going to build today. Today, we're going to build Bethany's new website, which is self-tastic.com. We'll learn how to do an intro like you see right here, and we'll learn how to add it to our website. Now notice how this text flies into place at just the right moment once the home page is revealed. You're going to be able to learn how to do that effect as well as all the other effects that are shown in this website.
All right. So I know that animation looked really fancy. Here's the thing though. The average person is not going to wait more than 3 seconds for your website to load. So if you have to make a choice between something that's pretty and something that's functional, I hope that you always pick functional. If we look at this screen now, this looks nice even without the animation. So if you build something, you can independently test, how it's loading. And if you find that something is slow and you have to get rid of the animation, that's okay. And I will also say, and I don't know if he's going to get into this, but the reason this website looks good is that the logo is done. She has a logo, whether you like it or not. It looks more sort of official to have a logo. But the other thing is that she has professional photos to work with. So that picture of her, which is taking up everything, looks great. And if you don't have a picture like that of yourself to work with, or a picture like that of something to work with, it's going to limit your design choices a lot. So I'll be really curious if he gets into that.
You're going to be able to do all this. Trust me, it's not going to be a problem at all. Now, you're not just a passive participant sitting in the audience watching a magic show as I put the show on. You're actually going to learn behind the scenes how to do all this. It's very simple, it's very easy, and you're going to be surprised how quickly you can build this entire website.
Sure, it's doable. There's a reason that people like him and I have jobs, right? It doesn't always perfectly come together, or something that did work can stop working pretty easily. Like I tell people, 299 times out of 300, you're not going to need me. But when something comes up, you've got my number, you've got my email. And I think it's important to empower people that they can do it, but also to say, hey, listen, you might run into something that you don't know how to do, and that's okay, because that's part of the web design process.
If you don't have a logo, we'll learn how to make a logo.
Okay.
Scroll
We're
down.
going to cover that. Are we going to cover how to take pictures? Are we going to cover how to make sure that your pictures are a high enough quality that you can blow them up like this picture is blown up of her?
These items animated out, we'll learn how to do that. We'll learn how to make these category sections. In many cases, those are services, for example. Scroll down.
So all this works, again, like the woman floating in with the umbrella that's coming in off the screen. This works because he has that picture to work with. And the picture is high quality enough that he was able to do a cutout with it. Yeah. Also, there's a little bit of potential accessibility issues here. I'm just going to do a quick check. Okay, so I just want to show you something, which is one of the things we keep in mind when we're doing website stuff. This is the Web Aim color contrast checker. I'll link to it in the show notes. But what you can do here is you can put in a background color and a foreground color, and it will tell you if there's enough contrast for it to be accessible. And as you see, it fails here across the board, the white on the yellow. So yeah, the reason I bring up stuff like this is that web accessibility is important. I'll be curious if he talks about that. Again, it's hard to cover everything in a 3-hour class. It's hard to cover an entire industry in even that length of time. But part of what you're paying for when you work with a web designer is people like me thinking about stuff like this, because we're keeping it in mind. But anyway, let's get back to it. But yeah, I think there's some contrast issues. I'd also be curious what this website looks like in mobile, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, anyway.
We'll learn how to do that animation, but we'll also learn how to remove the background from that animation so that it just has the girl coming in.
Okay.
We'll learn how to do these call to action areas, and notice how they also animated in from the right and the left.
Yeah, you can animate stuff, but you don't have to animate everything either. That animation was pretty subtle, but...
And then we'll learn how to make the buttons grow when we hover over them. Scroll down.
These are just like all whiz-bang things. It doesn't matter.
We'll learn how to make an image carousel.
That image carousel, like, you can barely read the words. Again, like, you can do all these whiz-bang things if you want, but I think getting your messaging right is something that people care more about than this stuff.
In this case, it's just images of words of wisdom, but they could be any images you want.
God, I can't. That font that those words are written in. Oof.
And then we'll learn how to do another animation similar to the one we did.
I wasn't expecting that. So, in case you're listening, there's a picture of her in a bikini and she's turned around and we're just like seeing like her butt and then she's in some kind of yoga position and she the image of her just slides in from the side. Oh, this is great.
Did above. And then
If I were you, if you're listening, okay, because there's parts of it. I mean, you can just listen to most of this, obviously, but oh my God, if you want a good laugh, just rewind about 30 seconds and just watch that part. It's so good.
if you need an email newsletter, we'll be able to integrate that into your website.
Okay, that's a good idea. Because sometimes people aren't in the place to buy from you right away. They want to just lightly keep in touch. So that's why we offer the social links, but also they can put their email in. And the example I always use is a catering company. Like I might find a catering company and be like, oh, wow, I love their food. That's great. And the thing is, I might not be in the position to need services from a catering company right at that moment, but I might sign up for their email list so I can keep in touch with them. So yeah, I think it's good to have an email list for the kind of people who like what you have to offer, but maybe aren't ready to buy right now.
And then we'll learn how to make this footer at the bottom. It looks exactly the same on all pages. Under About, we'll learn how to make this fancy header. And then we'll learn how to integrate text so that it can wrap around a picture like it does here. And then we'll learn how to import the words of wisdom section so we don't have to create that again.
He's going to use Divi, which is, I think, one of the most popular WordPress themes. I think it's the most popular WordPress theme in the world right now. But the developer license, even for a personal site, I think is like $39 a year. So I'm not really sure how he's keeping our total costs at $31 a year.
We will not be adding a shopping cart as part of this course, but once we have completed our website, I will provide a link to the video shown here in case you want to add the shopping cart later.
It's funny because when I do workshops, people are like, hey, can we build a website and have an online shopping cart? And they want me to do the class in 2 hours. And I'm like, it's a lot. It's a lot to get done in 2 hours. So yeah, I understand why the separate video for that. Also, if you're affiliate marketing, aren't you just linking to other websites that are selling the thing anyway? So you wouldn't have a central shopping cart on your own website anyway? Just saying.
We'll learn how to make this super fancy gallery. Just as we scroll down, how neat those are when they slide in together.
So the style of gallery he has here where they're different sizes, but they're all fitting together is called masonry. So if you're looking for a masonry gallery or a masonry plugin, that will give you this effect if you're in WordPress looking for this kind of thing.
And this is also a light box. So any of these we pick on, it'll bring it up and we can scroll to the left or the right. And you close that out. And then we'll learn how to make a fully functional blog.
WordPress comes with the ability to blog already built in. And so clients will see that and be like, I don't want to blog. And I'm like, just ignore it. It's not hurting anything. And if you change your mind, it's there.
The unique header.
Yep.
And then the individual blog items like this.
Yep.
And when you click on one of those, we'll learn how to format the blog post to have all these extra features.
So he says extra features. What he means is a sidebar that only loads on the blog. So when I'm reading a blog entry, in this case, are you selling yourself short? I can see on the side that there's categories and tags, maybe links to more popular posts. So you obviously don't want that appearing on every single page, but you want it appearing on your blog pages. So this is a sidebar. Again, because a lot of us are on mobile these days and social media has overtaken what blog traffic used to be, the sidebar is de-emphasized and something you really only see when you're on a desktop computer. But yeah, I get why you'd have it.
Nicely formatted like that. And then we'll learn how to make this contact us page where we have a really nice clean form like this. And then near the bottom, we'll have
why not integrate the email newsletter in the contact form? It's because the contact form software I think he's going to use is not that, but
have a map and the map.
So he has a map to an address in Tallahassee, Florida. I won't read it out loud, but I'm like, is this where he lives? Do you really want to be telling people where you live?
App and zoom in and out and change it to whatever you need it to be. And once our website's complete, I'll show you 9 different ways you can monetize this website as well as other websites so that you can start making money as soon as possible. Now, you should be able to learn everything you need to know in about 2 hours' time. I know on the surface it could look intimidating, super complicated, but trust me, you can do all this. I've got step-by-step all the way through showing you exactly what to do. And if you run into any troubles, just leave them below the video. I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Like I said, I used to give this, I called it one day website pretty regularly. It would be 3 hours and we'd all show up. And I tell people, like, listen, you're not going to feel like gathering all your photos and writing text and all that. So just basically show up with all the stuff you want to work with. And the more you show up with stuff done, the faster we can put your website together, because you're not going to be sitting there being like, oh, I got to write content for my about page. Let me sit here and write a 2-paragraph bio about myself while I'm in the middle of this class. You're not going to feel very creative about writing in that moment. So I think you could do this in 2 to 3 hours if you had all your stuff gathered. But I don't get how he's gonna design the logo and all that too in that time and edit all the photos and everything. That's the part I'm not quite sure about, but let's see. Maybe he has a better way of teaching this than I do. By the way, if it's of interest for me to do this, I'm pretty sure at this point I could do it online, because we could do it over Zoom, and then I could have everyone go into their own individual breakout rooms to like work on stuff, and then we could come back together and keep going. If you're interested in me doing that, let me know. The last couple of times I tried to run the class, nobody signed up for it. Yeah, but I can do something like this in a live format, I think. And I would not talk for 16 minutes about affiliate marketing before I started.
So we're ready to start on our website, but before we can build a website, we have to have a place for our website to live. And that's what web hosting does for you. Otherwise, you'd build a website on your local computer, but only you'd be able to see it. You want to be able to have the world see it, so you have to get hosting so everybody else can see your results.
Okay, that's like a simplified way to explain hosting. I can appreciate that.
Finding great web hosting solutions in the matrix of hundreds of choices can be frustrating at best. You have to understand that nearly all web hosting review sites make sure that the web hosting company they are affiliated with always get the best review. So basically, that web hosting company is number one to them because they get paid if you decide to use that company.
Yeah.
I have been hosting websites for over 30 years, with the first 5 years being me supplying my own hosting. I have used at least 10 of the hosting companies shown here, either personally or for my clients.
All right, let's see how many I've used. I've used HostGator, 1&1, 2Cows, SiteGround, Fat Cow, which now is owned by DreamHost and GoDaddy. Yeah, I've used 7 of them.
Obviously, not all web hosting companies are created equal, and there are only a few that stand out from the rest.
Oh, and Bluehost. I've used 8 of them.
But how do you reveal the best web hosting provider with all the fake reviews out there? As puzzling as this might sound, I was able to find my answer while not allowing my own bias to interfere. For me, I like to turn problems inside out. In this case, I was looking for the web hosting review that reveals a web hosting company that sucks the least. So first, the quick answer to the question of who is the best web hosting company for me is simple. Hands down, it's HostGator. HostGator is definitely the best web hosting solution for me, my clients, and for Webyoda.
Okay, I don't hate this choice. I'm glad you didn't say GoDaddy.
But the obvious next question is, why is HostGator the best choice? Webyoda did some research to try to find some authentic web hosting reviews, and they settled on some results from PC Magazine. You have to understand that PC Magazine has been around for nearly 40 years, providing essential technology information to the end user. For our purposes, every year PC Magazine does an Editor's Choice Award to determine the best web hosting companies. And shown here are the top 6 web hosting companies for this year, with HostGator being number 1. It turns out that HostGator has been rated the number 1 web hosting provider by PC Magazine for many years running. Basically, HostGator collectively has the features you need.
Yeah, and it's relatively low cost in terms of, I think they have 3 levels of hosting. And by the way, you would increase your level of hosting if you started getting more traffic, for example, because higher hosting packages price-wise give you more bandwidth, or if you need more space, more online server space, having multiple websites, or start wanting more email addresses or something like that. So again, I do not hate this HostGator choice. I have a provider I like to use because my friend owns the company and I have root access to the server and can, for example, unblock IP addresses and stuff if I need to. But I do not hate this choice. If you want to go with HostGator for hosting, I am totally okay with that.
Their server reliability is amazing. Their 24/7 support is amazing. Their prices are good or better than anybody out there.
Yeah.
I've personally been using HostGator for more than 3 years now. I host over 200 domains and websites with them. Webyoda also decided to go with HostGator for all their needs. In fact, Webyoda partnered with HostGator, and as part of that partnership, Webyoda students receive up to 75% off plus a free domain name. Now, for you to take advantage of this offer, you simply need to go to your browser and type in hostgator.com/.
He is getting a cut from this because he is affiliating the HostGator. So the reason it's $31 is because he has a little deal because he's an affiliate. I'm looking to see if they do Let's Encrypt. Yep, it looks like HostGator also is a Let's Encrypt provider, which allows you to have a free secure certificate. So yeah, okay. I approve of this, but I really wish he'd say directly that he's making money off of it if you go to this link.
Webyoda. Now, this takes you to the partner page for HostGator and Webyoda, and it reveals our 3 choices for hosting plans. Currently, as part of this partnership, HostGator is going to offer us a free domain name provided we sign up for one of their annual plans. And it turns out
Yeah, most providers will do that because if you're going to pay me a few $100 or something, I will throw in a thing that costs $8. You know what I mean?
this is actually the most affordable choice for us. If we scroll down, we can reveal the pricing for each of the plans. All 3 of the plans come with one-click install. That means when we go to install the software, it's going to allow us to build our website. We can just click a link and it'll install everything.
I think it's Soft Qdillis or something. Yeah, it comes on cPanel, the ability to install open source softwares like Drupal and Joomla and WordPress. That's pretty standard.
For us. They also come with unmetered bandwidth, which means we don't pay for the traffic that comes to our website, no matter how small or large that might be. And finally, they also come with a free SSL certificate, which typically runs around $99 a year. And you say, okay, what is that? What do I need that for? Well, that's that little lock up here in the top left. It allows your page to be secure so that the information going to and from your website is secure. At this point, you need to decide which one of the plans is best for you. For our purposes, I'd recommend the hatching plan if you have one domain, or the baby plan if you plan on building multiple websites. And then if later,
Yeah, you can always change it. Like, I know you're locking in for a year, but if like halfway through the year, I think if you were like, oh, I want to do another website, I think you could upgrade your plan and then you would only pay for the upgrade during that period.
find you need it.
The only reason he's got the 31 numbers because he's got a deal for you and he's making money off the back end. I wish he'd say that. I'm an affiliate for HostGator. I wish he would say that directly.
Additional features, you can just upgrade to the business plan and pay the difference. So in your case, you probably need the hatchling plan, which is just a single domain. So we'll choose that. The first step is to pick a domain name that works best for your purposes. In my case, for this example, I'm going to use choose my domain name. And if we click to the right, it'll tell us if it is available. And in our case, it is available. So we're going to scroll down. The next item is domain privacy protection. And basically what they'll do is for $14.95 a year, they'll hide your name, your address, your information like your email and stuff like that from people being able to see it. Now, for me, it's going to be on the website anyway, so I don't feel like I'm giving anything away, so I'm not going to choose to pay for that.
Some places you just get it. So when I buy a domain name from Namecheap, it automatically hides it. So I get privacy automatically, and the domain names are sometimes I usually find a coupon code or something, but they can be between like $8 and $15 for the year for the domain name. So privacy sometimes does come with it if that's important to you, depending on the service provider.
Next, we already picked our package type. We chose the hatchling plan because we only have one domain.
I like how he's showing, yeah, they picked a 3-year billing cycle.
So we want to look at our billing cycle.
Yeah.
Within the billing cycle, if you purchase 1 month, it's $5.48, but it's only for that first month, and then the price goes up. If you go all the way up to 36 months, it's going to be $2.71, and it's going to be 61% off. Now, to get the free domain, you're going to have to pick 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. So let's go ahead and pick the 12 months. It says $76.40, but let's see if we can do a little bit better than that. Now we're going to pick a username. In my case, I'm going to pick Admin Yoda and a security pin. Then we want to put in our billing information.
I actually appreciate that he's going through filling out the form. I think a lot of people get intimidated about buying a domain name, which is understandable because sometimes, at least when I first started, like you'd be like, oh yeah, $12.99 for the year domain name. And then I'd end up at the checkout and it was like $78. And I'd be like, wait, how? And it's because like it has things checked off. So he showed, for example, how it had the privacy checked off for $14.95 for the year to hide the contact information with the domain. So I think people sometimes feel intimidated by the process of going through. They're afraid they're going to do it wrong. And so him going through it and showing, oh, you unchecked this. Oh, look, you can pick the pricing thing. They automatically picked 3 years worth of pricing to lock you in at that price point. So I think that's good. And I think that more of us web people should be willing to do that. If it feels like it's simple to do it, we should still be willing to do it anyway, because if someone's never done it before, they don't know to look out for those things like we do as web professionals. Anyway, we'll get back. So credit where credit is due. I appreciate that he's actually going through this. I don't know how he's going to be able to build a website though in the remaining time, but that's for him to worry about, not me. Let's continue.
Now scroll down to additional services. Now, we don't need any of these services, but I'll explain them real quickly.
Okay,
The
good.
first is an SSL certificate. We already get that for free, so we don't need to add that.
Yeah, so there's a Let's Encrypt SSL that's for free. Some people buy additional protection by upgrading their secure certificate. So, for example, if I was going to spend $10,000 on a Herman Miller Aeron chair or something, If I'm putting my credit card into that kind of website, I would want it to have a little bit more security. So I might want to buy a different secure certificate if I owned that website.
The second is for them to protect us from hackers. I know firsthand they're going to give you protection whether you ask for it or not. So there's no reason to pay for this additional thing.
You also, if you just keep your software up to date, you won't get hacked. And change your passwords like you change your toothbrush, use secure passwords, turn on two-factor authentication. There's a lot of steps you can take as the consumer to protect your information.
They're going to want to protect their servers from both the internet and from you. So they're going to definitely stay on top of this. Next, we don't need to pay for an email for our domain name. I'm going to show you how to make an email forward for your domain at no cost at all.
Oh, okay. That's why it's cheap. You don't have email hosting. Okay, that makes sense. So with the web host I use, which is savaha.com, you get like a certain amount of space. So for example, like the intro plan is 5 gigs of space. So most of our websites come in at under half of a gig, which leaves 4.5 gigs to do other stuff. So maybe you want to host another website. Maybe you want to make some branded domain email addresses, Nicole@breakingeveninc.com, that kind of thing. And Savaha doesn't really care as long as you're under the amount of space that you're paying for. So they don't care whether I'm using it on websites or on emails. So this is interesting. So if you do want branded emails, you would have to pay for that. And it looks like they use Microsoft 365 and not Google Workspace. I have issues with Microsoft 365. Personally, I prefer Google. Again, I'm not mad about it, but I see now why it's so cheap because they're not doing the email part.
Next, they offer a backup service where it'll do daily backups, but I know firsthand they do monthly backups for you. I'll go ahead and give you a video that'll show you how to make your own backups without having to pay them a regular fee like that.
Yeah, you can install automated backup software that'll take a backup every certain period of time. I know that Savaha backs up nightly and keeps backups for 2 weeks. So what I tell clients is the second that you notice a problem, tell me. And for the clients whose website we maintain, once a week, we go update the software and we do what's called a human check, where we check multiple pages, make sure they're loading okay, and all of that. Notice issues like if they're loading slow, or if there's supposed to be an image somewhere and it's just loading with an X, or if a form isn't submitting, that kind of thing. So for our clients whose sites we maintain for a monthly rate, we do that kind of thing. But for clients that we don't, I just say, listen, if you notice a problem, tell me, because if I know within 2 weeks, we can go back and restore a backup. So if it was working fine on Monday and you notice a problem on Thursday, we can revert the website back to Monday again, as long as I know ahead of time, before those backups go away.
If you're looking to make scheduled automated backups of your WordPress website where you're in full control,
He's going to affiliate this,
as well as make manual backups at any time that you can store locally on your own computer, then you'll want to check out my WordPress backup and restore video at some point.
and I use a tool called Backup Buddy. I forget what the developer license is, because Matt, who owns Savaha, and I take turns buying developer licenses for things and share them with each other. So I think he has that one, but I think it's either $99 a year or $299 a year for the developer license. And what we do when we work on a site is we put it on whatever site that we work on. So one of the benefits also of working with a professional website person is that we own a lot of software and we're happy to share it with our clients because we're paying for that licensing anyway. So instead of you having to buy all these individual licenses, with most of our clients, they're getting $500 of basically free software when they work with us, because we have Backup Buddy, we have Gravity Forms, we have Divi, which is the WordPress theme I think he's going to be using. We have other stuff too. Those are just the ones I can think of, but
We'll turn that off. And finally, HostGator offers some SEO tools for nearly $3 a month, but there's plenty of free
you can do a lot of SEO stuff on your own website. Yeah, you don't have to pay for this.
tools out there, so we're not going to worry about that. If we scroll down, you want to make sure the Webyoda coupon code automatically spawned in here so you get the best possible price.
And so that I get my money.
And we look down and we see that now we're at $33, which is really a great deal. That's going to be for the whole year. It also includes our free domain name at no cost to us. And that comes with 24/7, 365 support, instant activation of our account, money back guarantee, which is awesome, 45 days. Collectively, all these features leave me feeling very confident that I'm making the right decision today.
And if you just look at the numbers he's crossed off here, so this is what's going to happen after the first year, is it's going to revert to the normal pricing. So after the first year of paying $33, you are going to then pay $125, because you're going to be paying $17.99 for the domain name, and you're going to be paying $107.40 for the web hosting after the first year. So you're going to be paying $125 after you pay $33 the first year. So when you get that bill, don't be surprised.
So we're going to scroll down. We need to agree to their terms. And now we're ready to check out. But in my case, I own the domain I'm going to use. So I'm going to do one last thing at the top. So scroll to the top. And I'm going to choose I already own this domain. And I'm going to change this to say, choose yourdomainname.com. That's the one I own. So now we go back down to the bottom. And we're ready to check out now. And my purchase is complete. It is now setting up my account. Once our HostGator hosting account is complete and ready to go, you're likely to get a survey that looks like this one. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and go off script and save ourselves a lot of time and a lot of questions. If you didn't have this video to follow, obviously following these steps would probably get you to the goal that you wanted to do, but we're going to be able to get there faster and easier. We're ready to set up our email forward and install WordPress. So to proceed, you're going to go ahead and head to your email, and you want to look for an email from HostGator.com that says your account info at the top. From my experience, there are two different versions of emails you might receive from HostGator that will contain the information you need to proceed. So now we'll discuss both of those email versions to minimize confusion.
Yep.
Of course, HostGator could change things at any time, but what you learn here should be enough to allow you to proceed.
Typically when you buy software or web hosting in this case, you're going to get like the confirmation email with the receipt, and then you're going to get your access information. So he's showing the access information for the control panel, or what a lot of people call the C panel, like the letter C. So by the way, you don't want anyone to have your C panel password, because if they can get in at this level of your site, they can send emails as you, they can get into your entire website and all of your stuff, your e-commerce, whatever. Like, you don't want that. So just make sure that nobody has this password except people that you trust very much. And typically, if a client wants me to work on their stuff, I will have them text me this password so that it's not even in my email. Just be safe with this password. This is a very important password to not give anyone access to.
The first email type will look something like the one you see here, whereas the second email will look more like this one. If you selected a free domain name from HostGator as part of your purchase, then this short section on how to point your domain name to your hosting account will not apply to you, as your domain was automatically set up for you by HostGator. To point your domain name to your hosting, you first need to know what your name servers are for your hosting account. In the first email example, your name servers are shown here as I've selected. In the second email version, you can also easily find your name servers as shown here. Please do not use the name servers shown in this example, as those are the name servers for my hosting. And your name servers shown in your email will most likely be different than mine. Once you have located your name servers, you need to log into your domain account and set your DNS settings to use your name servers.
Okay, this feels really complicated. What he's trying to say is if you bought your domain name somewhere else, you need to tell it, oh, hey, I'm going to be over at HostGator for my hosting. And by putting in the DNS, that just says that. If this is a brand new site and you just bought hosting, the name servers will automatically be right because you bought the domain name and hosting at the same time. This only applies to him because he previously owned this domain, and they want to make sure that this domain gets associated with this particular hosting account because it was bought previously, it looks like, on GoDaddy, so AKA somewhere else.
All of my domain names live at GoDaddy.com, so I needed to go into the DNS at my GoDaddy.
Of course he uses GoDaddy. Listen, as website developers, there's a reason that we don't like GoDaddy. There's multiple reasons. I keep threatening to make a video about it, but I don't think anybody would watch it. But I'll tell you a funny story. I went to a software conference. This must have been 10 years ago. It was a while ago. And they sent a GoDaddy rep. And we said, all right, you're going to take us out to dinner because you've wasted a lot of our time. And the guy just spent the whole dinner like buying us drinks and steaks and apologizing to us. It was really funny. And we just ragged on him like in a very good natured way. But yeah, by the way, at that conference, they took a photo because it was the most women who had ever been at that conference. 3% women. Editing Nicole. Sorry, guys. I was wrong. It was 23% women at the Joomla World Conference in 2012. I guess it was exactly 10 years ago, pretty much. Anyway, let's get back to it.
GoDaddy account and point that domain to the HostGator name service as shown here. Now, if you're not using GoDaddy.com, it should be a similar process. And if you have any trouble, just contact your domain company and they can give you further assistance.
I don't get why he said this part. Like, I think this part only applies to a very specific person watching this video. Most people watching this video, this is their first website because they've just bought hosting, Because let's face it, if it wasn't your first website, you'd already have hosting and you would just use that hosting to build your second website. But I don't know why he went on this tangent that was technical without showing people exactly where to change the DNS. But
next, we're going to log into our control panel. And since there are 2 possible emails you might receive, that means there's 2 possible ways to log into your control panel to access your hosting account. Let's start by looking at the first method. To log into our hosting account, we're going to need our username and we're going to need a password. We're going to take that password and we're going to copy it to the clipboard. And now you want to go to the control panel, which is how you access your hosting space. So we'll click on this link, and that takes us to the control panel login page. Now my username and password are already there, so I can just choose login, and that takes you to your HostGator control panel, also known as your cPanel. In the second method for logging into your control panel, you will simply click the Go to HostGator button found in your email. And this will take you to the URL porthole.hostgator.com/login. From here, you will enter your username and password that you provided when you purchased your hosting.
also, typically you can get to it by typing in your domain name /cpanel. So to get to my cPanel, breakingeveninc.com/cpanel. That's another way to get to it.
Now, my username and password are already there.
Different hosting companies, though, might not do that, but that's a way I've seen a lot of people get to their control panels as well.
So I can just choose login. Once you're successfully logged into your HostGator portal, there'll be an option at the bottom right to access your control panel. Simply click on the cPanel button to access your control panel. And that takes you to your HostGator control panel, also known as your cPanel. As promised, I want to quickly show you how to make an email forward. Under popular links, you can find email forwards here. If for some reason it doesn't show up under popular links, you can click on email on the left, and that'll bring up all the email options, and then you can choose email forward.
Before he clicks on that, you see where it says email accounts and webmail. Typically, you can make, again, if you're paying the right level, I guess, of hosting for HostGator, you can click email accounts and make new email accounts. So let's say that I had a new employee, Martha. I could click on email accounts, make a new account, and say martha@breakingeveninc.com. I could make her a password and have it send login credentials to her personal email so that she would be able to access her account. Anyway, so you can very easily make emails back here as well. And then you see that there's a webmail button, and that's if I wanted to check my email online. So I can have my email going into Mac Mail or Microsoft or whatever, but also I can just, this happened to me. If I am at my friend's parents' house in Bosnia and I need to check my email, I can go on any computer and type in breakingeveninc.com/webmail, type in my email address and password, and see a simplified interface of my email.
Now we're ready to set up our email forward. We're going to choose Add Forwarder, and we're going to put, in this case, I'm going to put Yoda. There's my domain name. And where do I want it forward to? I want it to forward to, in my case, yoda@webyoda.com. Scroll down, Add Forwarder. And now any email sent to yoda@chooseyourdomainname.com will be sent to my email address, yoda@webyoda.com. Obviously, this would be your domain name and whatever email you wanted to send to. Now we're ready to install WordPress. If we click on HostGator at the top left, it takes us back to the control panel. At the time of making this video, there was a WordPress installer inside the popular links, but this particular method of installing WordPress is going away for a much easier method. So on the left-hand side under our website section, we're going to choose Softaculous Apps Installer.
Oh,
And that takes us to the
Softaculous.
Softaculous options.
Oh.
At this point, simply choose WordPress as the option.
I've been calling it Softculous for like years in my own mind. It's like when you read a book and then you hear someone pronounce the word. That's how you pronounce it. Okay, I always wondered how to pronounce it. Okay.
And this will display the WordPress installer.
Yeah, and yeah, you just literally follow the directions. But he's going to show you again, which I can appreciate. I'm glad that he's showing people how to do this.
So to be completely thorough, I wanted to throw in one additional tip. When you come down and you click on Softaculous Apps Installer,
Softaculous.
there's a chance that WordPress doesn't show up in your list. A very small chance, but let's assume it doesn't. In
Okay.
that case, you'll simply click on any of the other ones, and then in the box, just type WordPress. You click on WordPress, and you're back to the same installer.
Oh, that's a good tip. I didn't know that.
Now, before we proceed with our WordPress installation, I wanted to address how to deal with WordPress installation errors. In very rare occasions, when you're trying to install WordPress, you may get an error. I've already installed WordPress so that I can demonstrate that error. Then I can show you how to correct the error. Then we'll install WordPress correctly. So let's go ahead and click on install now like we think this is going to work. And don't worry about the settings right now. We'll worry about that next time through. And now I'm going to click on install at the bottom. It starts the install, and then it gives you an error. Now, in this case, it's just telling me it already exists, but this error could be any error where something went wrong. Our goal is to get rid of the install error so we can reinstall correctly. To get started, click on Softaculous at the top left, and right here is a list of our installations. If I click on that, it shows the one installation we had. We know that we don't want it because it didn't work, so we can simply click this X. We can scroll to the bottom, remove installation. Are you sure? Yes, we're sure. That installation has now been removed, and now we're ready to install WordPress. So at this point, we can go back to Softaculous, choose WordPress, and now we're back to the installer. And we'll click on Install Now, and we'll go ahead and proceed to install our WordPress. The first option is which version do you want to use? The default will be the latest version. We'll use that. Next, you'll choose your domain. If you have...
All right, so this was not recorded in 2023 because we're currently at WordPress version 6.2, and it looks like his version here is 5.4.2. So this was recorded at some point in the past, probably at least a year ago, I'm guessing, just based on how they release these and the number system.
Multiple domains, they'll be in that drop down. Now over here, it says, what protocol do we want to use? The problem is it can take a little while for the secure key to be activated. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off for now. We can activate it later.
Yep.
So we'll just choose the regular one like that. And it shows that currently our SSL certificate was not found. And that's because it takes HostGator about 24 hours to get that up and running.
Yeah, and you can always turn it on after the fact and then change the URL site-wide, so it's no big deal. And it'll automatically redirect. If someone doesn't type in HTTPS, it'll redirect them to the correct version of the site.
Under site settings, the site name is the company name. So let's say this was for Webyoda. I'd put Webyoda. And then the description is whatever the description for the company is. So let's say I put free online courses.
Why don't you do the example? I thought you were doing the self whatever, the new website for your partner. So why not say her thing is self whatever, and we're going to say your online source for all self-improvement products or something. Give people a format to figure out how long their site name should be or what kinds of things should be in the site name and description.
You can leave this unchecked. We want to pick a username and a password.
Yeah, not admin. Anything but admin as a admin username, because the hackers try that first.
I'm going to pick Yoda user. Then you want to pick a secure password. So let's hide that so I can put a secure password in there. Now the admin email is where any email associated with your website will be sent. So for example, if you needed to reset your password, that's where it would go. Now, since we didn't set up this email forward, that's not going to be good enough for us. So in my case, I'm going to pick one that does work. So for me, it's going to be yoda@webyoda.com. For you, it'll be whatever your regular email address is. You can choose a different language if you like. We don't need to select any plugins. We're going to do all that ourselves.
Yep.
No reason to make any adjustments to the advanced options. And no reason to select a theme now. We're going to do that ourselves as well. When the installation is complete, where do we want it to send details to? I'll use the same email address. And now I can click install.
And then it
This
does a little...
says that it could take 3 to 4 minutes.
I like it when the little thing goes across the screen.
I found it doesn't take really that long at all.
I think he has a good internet connection if it's going that fast.
Now that WordPress has been successfully installed, we're ready to open up a new tab and look at our website. At this point, we're probably going to have to take a small break, and that's because we just set up a hosting account that has a new domain. The hosting's immediately available, but the domain takes a while to propagate across the internet so that it's able to be accessed.
Okay.
So just to see if...
I know a lot of people think things on the internet are instantaneous. They are not. So sometimes you do need a break.
If your domain name's ready, simply open up a new tab in your browser and go to your domain name. And if your domain's not ready, you'll get a message that says this site cannot be reached. So you'll likely need to take a break for about 2 hours and then come back again and go back to your domain and refresh and see if it works. When it's ready, you'll get a page that looks like this one that says website coming soon, or you might get your new website homepage.
Okay, it's weird that it says website coming soon. WordPress typically has a default theme every year, and it would normally just show like the default theme, whatever that was. It's interesting that it shows this, but anyway, I'm not a HostGator aficionado, so maybe this is just what HostGator does.
So let's go ahead and close that test tab. Now we're looking at our completed WordPress installation page again. Now that WordPress has been successfully installed, we're ready to open up a new tab and look at our website. To access our website, we simply go to our domain name and go to our website.
So this was the default theme from 2020. as you see, because it says it does a fake page, a sample page, and it does a sample blog post called Hello World. And as you see, August 1 of 2020. So that's probably when he did this install.
Where you can start editing your website, you need to be able to access your website admin. To do that, you simply go to your domain name, /WP-admin.
Except if you're on Bluehost, and then you have to go to WP-login.
Hit enter.
Ask me how I know.
Login box will come up. Now simply enter the username and password you created during your WordPress installation. So in my case, Yoda user, password, paste that in, hit login.
I love that he showed us his cPanel password, but he's being very secretive about his WordPress password. People can do a lot more damage in cPanel than they can do in WordPress, but I'm sure he changed it immediately after recording it.
And now we're logged into our WordPress. So
I guess that was a scene change with the little movie clapper there.
if you've been following along with the video, you probably already know by now that self-tastic.com already exists. So for us to build the new website, we're going to have a sample area. So in this case, I'm going to build sample.self-tastic.com, and I'm going to go to WP-admin to bring up the admin for her website.
This is what's called a subdomain. And again, if you have hosting and you have unlimited domains, or if you have the ability to create as much as you want, you can make a subdomain if you were reworking your website. So
in my case, my username was already there, so I can paste in my password and log in. And now I'm at the fresh install for Bethany's new website. Now, one of the first things I want to do is get some things set up for us. And so if we go over here and we highlight over where it says Self-Tastic, if I right-click on that, I can open the link in a new tab. And what that did was it opened our new website in our second tab.
Interesting. So he recorded that install video in 2020 because the Hello World blog post date was 2020. And this one, that the theme looks different. So this is a different default WordPress theme because it's from a different year. Because if you look at the publication date for the sample blog post, Hello World, it is August 29 of 2021.
And now I want to go to Bethany's live website in a third tab so we can follow along in real time exactly what it is we plan to accomplish. In most cases, when I build a new how-to video, I make a script for that video so that it's easier for me to create the video. And at some point when I was using the script in a previous video, a student pointed out that I should make that script available to everybody since it was very useful. It was a great idea, and so that's what we're going to do next. So let's go ahead and open another tab. And to get to the script, we're going to go to webyoda.com/selftastic. And the last thing we want to do is download all the content I use within this website, so when you're following along, you can build the exact same website. So I'm going to open up another tab. And this time I'm going to go to webyoda.com/content. And now I'm going to scroll down to the project we're working on, selftastic.com. And that was another way to get to the script. But we're going to click on this link here, and it's going to download Self-Tastic for us. And when it's done, on mine, I can click on that and show in a folder. And you see it's in my downloads folder. And then I can right-click on the file. I can choose Extract All, click on Extract. And now
this is a Windows-specific thing. I think most Macs have it, so when you double-click on a zip file, it'll automatically unzip it.
Now it makes a folder containing all the content I need, opens it up in a new window. So I can close that one, bring that over here. And when I click on that, this is all the content we're going to use to create this website.
Remember how I said that it's easiest if you come into a class like this with your images already picked out and all of that? That's what he did here. So I can now see why he's able to do this in 2 hours if he has gone through, found images, resized them. Looks like he named them useful things so that he could find them. If you do all that ahead of time, it definitely really helps the website creation process.
So I can go ahead and close this tab. And this tab is the script for building the website. And this tab is Bethany's real website. And this tab is the site we're going to build. And then this tab is our admin for our WordPress so we can build the website. Now that we're ready to get started, I wanted to cover a couple of tips that'll really help you out. First, some subscribers have pointed out that I tend to talk too fast. This is unavoidable as my processor runs a little faster like a child's processor, probably because I refuse to grow up.
Some people talk faster than other people. I don't know if it's because you're childlike, but okay.
Fortunately, YouTube offers a feature to slow videos down to meet your needs. So for example, I'm going to go to this video in a new browser window. Now within the video, I'm going to choose the settings gear. I'm going to choose playback speed, 0.75. Now this is what 75% sounds, which should probably meet your needs.
He sounds a little drunk, but
Now I'll choose playback speed again. I'll choose normal, and we're back to normal speed. Next, I want to scroll down, and within the content under the video that I've provided, there's going to be an entire set of timestamps that allows you to pick any particular spot in the video to proceed. Let's go ahead and close that tab.
useful. Also useful to show people how to slow down the video. So I appreciate his walkthroughs at this point.
And the last tip I want to give you is the script itself. When you go to the script, it's got a lot of information here. It tells you the plugins. We're going to cover that anyway in the video. It tells us about the Astra theme.
And as you see, the Astra theme has wpastra.com/Webyoda. So he's making money if you upgrade to the premium version of Astra theme after using the free version. So quick thing about WordPress themes, most themes have a free version and it allows you to customize some of the things. And as you're going through and editing the different sections, it'll be like, oh, you can only access this section with the pro version of the theme. So what they're trying to get you to do is download the free version and like it enough to say, you know what, I'll pay $25, I'll pay $40, I'll pay whatever to be able to access this part. What I prefer instead is to just buy a premium theme right out the gate, and then you can customize everything and not just the sections that they're letting you access. It'll give you a lot more flexibility, and typically these kind of more developer themes like Divi, they have a lot of customizations, which means that you can design websites that look different from each other, even using the same theme. And if you want to try out different templates or different page layouts really easily, using a theme that was built for developers will give you a lot more flexibility and allow you to make your website look a lot more custom. So just a little tip from me, because like I said, you'll get the free theme and you'll be like, okay, I'm using a free theme. But what will happen is it will limit your ability to customize it and you'll end up paying for it anyway. So you might as well just pay for something out the gate that has really good documentation and is very customizable, so that if you have an idea for something, you're able to execute it and you're not limited by what that theme developer decided was accessible to you. Back to it.
Then it has a whole bunch of royalty-free video clips you may be able to use, royalty-free images you can use, and then it has all the notes I'm going to need for the class. For example, all the colors I'm going to use are found here. Now, two things that are nice within this is if
This is smart too. So he has all his photos ready to go and he has all of his color hex codes ready to go because he's going to be referencing those a fair bit. And I don't know about you, but my brain can't remember 10 different sequences of 6 letters and numbers. So even with my own brand colors, I couldn't even tell you what their hex codes are, even though I use them all the time. Having them someplace easy to copy and paste is definitely key.
If you need to find a hex color, and we'll talk about that a little later, if you click on this link, I'll right click and open link. It comes up with the ability to pick a color. So let's say I wanted to pick a red, and now this number right here is your hex color. All you have to do is click this icon and it copies it, and now you have that color. Alternatively, the other one, we'll right click on this, choose open link. This gives you the ability to pick this type of color, and this digit right here is to say how much transparent it is. So watch, when we go like this, see how that gets transparent right here? So that gives you some idea. Here's your color settings, and then here's how transparent it is. And then again, you can click there, it makes a copy of it, and you can use it in your website.
Okay. Most website programs are hex codes versus the RGBA codes, but okay.
Let's go back to the script.
So one of my most frequently used Google Chrome extensions is called Color Picker. I just took a screenshot of it. It's right there. And what I can do is I can click pick color from a web page, and it saves all the colors I've ever picked in this little palette area. So you can see that some of these are definitely my brand colors. And what I can do is just click on it and it shows me the hex code and the RGB and I don't know what HSL is, but probably another thing. But yeah, that's really handy too. If you're like, oh, what is this color in my logo? And it's already uploaded somewhere like on your Facebook page, you can just click the pick color from website and sample it. And it's a free Google Chrome extension. So it's definitely one of my most used ones for sure.
And now you're into the getting started section. These are all the notes I made for myself so I can make the video, but you can also use these to your benefit. When you scroll down, you'll probably notice to the left of Yoda, you talk too fast, is a bunch of W's. And you're going to say to yourself, hey, Yoda, why all the extra W's? I will tell you. Bethany decided she was going to get a new kitten. The kitten decided it wanted to play on my keyboard. It hit the W, and I decided to leave it in the course.
Aw.
Okay, random facts. We've already covered the hosting. We've already covered WordPress. And now we're going to jump into themes and plugins. Now, for the most part, I won't be showing the script. I'm just going to be using the script, but you know that it's there for you as well. Now, admittedly, I'm no Bob Ross, but I definitely do my best to keep things fun and easy. I hope that the tips I just provided you will ensure your experience building your website will be met with confidence and enjoyment.
I don't know if he's allowed to use this image. I feel like this might be a copyright protected image.
So we're going to go ahead and go back to our WordPress admin. At this point, if you already have a website, then there's really no reason to watch the steps on how to build a website. Instead, you can go ahead and proceed to the section called Enable SSL, which is the first step in the process of adding a shopping cart to your website. So the first step in building Bethany's website is to remove all the stuff that's not going to be part of her website. So let's go ahead and click on Pages first. And we don't need any of the pages they have here. We're going to make our own. So we select that checkbox there, and it selects all of them. Under Bulk Actions, we're going to choose Move to Trash. And
I don't know about deleting the privacy policy page. You're going to need a privacy policy page on your website if you do things like run ads or sell things, because you have to disclose how you're collecting information from your website visitors and how long you keep that information and all of that. I think you could just keep that and rework it. But again, just my opinion.
then we'll choose Apply. And as an additional step, I like to click on Trash, choose them all again, Bulk Actions, Delete Permanently, Apply. And now we want to get rid of all the plugins that were pre-installed because we're not going to need any of those. We're going to use all of our own.
So yeah, it like automatically installed some stuff. That's not cool, but good for him for showing people how to just get rid of all that.
I'm going to go down to Plugins. And this brings up a list of all the plugins that were pre-installed. Again, I can select next to Plugins, that checkbox, and it chooses all of them. Bulk Actions. And before we can delete them, we have to deactivate them. So we'll choose Deactivate, Apply. Now I can choose Plugin again, so it selects them all. Bulk Actions, Delete, Apply. Okay, because yes, we want to delete them. And this will remove all the pre-installed plugins.
Yeah, and you want to keep your number of plugins as low as you can. Not saying none, because the Backup Buddy is like super useful and some other ones we use. The more plugins you have, the more potential for conflict there is, because they can conflict with each other. They can also conflict with your theme. Maybe somebody decides they don't want to update that plugin anymore, because since WordPress is open sourced, all these plugins are independently developed by different companies or different people. I like to keep it 15 or less if I can. Just a very general guideline. If you need 17 to make your stuff work, I'm not going to be mad about it, but don't have like, sometimes I get websites and there's 50 plugins and you're like, okay, like 3 of these plugins are form building softwares. Like, which form building software are you using? And let's delete these other 2, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Now we want to add the theme that we're going to use for Bethany's website. So we're going to go to Appearance, Themes.
So there's the default theme 2021. And as you see, there's 4 themes installed here, and they always call them 2020, 2021, 2019, and it's all written out. That's the default WordPress theme. I don't know where Sinatra came from, but I'm guessing he must have installed that previously. But like I said, I prefer working with a more robust theme. I think Rachel Peterson also affiliated for Astra. I really haven't heard too much about Astra as a web developer, but I get it. Maybe they have a really good affiliate program or something. I don't know, but I'll be curious. I'll enjoy watching him work with this theme to see what is possible and see what he likes about it.
Choose Add New, and we're ready to upload a theme. So first, we're going to download the theme we need.
Yep.
But you might say to yourself, but here are all the themes. Why don't I just pick the one I need?
Yeah.
The answer is
they're all free themes, and the more robust themes that you pay for, aka the ones you upload, typically said come with the ability to customize a little easier without code. They usually have really good documentation. And so there's definitely reasons to pay a little bit for a theme.
you could do that. But I can't guarantee that the theme we're going to use or the plugins we're going to use are always available in all environments. So if you don't have your hosting with HostGator, the theme and plugins may not be available in your environment.
Weird. I just thought it was pulling this from what was popular on WordPress, but And it looks like Astra is right in the middle of the screen here. The purple theme that says your idea matters. It's called Astra. So it looks like Astra is already in here.
To make sure the
Not installed, but looks like it's already in the marketplace.
theme and plugins we need are going to be available, I've stored them permanently on the Webyoda server. So let's go ahead and get our theme now. So open up a new tab, and we're going to go to webyoda.com/themes.
So that he can get credit when you download the theme.
Scroll down to the project we're working on. There's self-tastic.com, and we're going to click on Astra theme. That takes us to the Astra website, but it also downloaded the Astra theme right there. We can go ahead and close that. Now we want to go to webyoda.com/plugins. We want to download the plugins we need for this project. So again, we'll scroll down to this project, self-tastic.com, and we're going to need to download all of these plugins. And as we download them, I'll give you a little bit of information about what each one of them is.
Okay, so first of all, if we're not building the shopping cart, we don't need WooCommerce, WooTaxes and Shipping, or WooStripe Gateway. We don't need any of those. Also, WooCommerce comes with the ability to customize how you do taxes and shipping. So I'm not really sure why he's using a separate plugin there, but maybe it does more specialty stuff. And it looks like the other ones, Classic Editor and Classic Widget, WordPress changed the way stuff was laid out a few years ago. And all of us people who were used to the old way of doing it really hate the new way. So they've come up with these ways to sort of replicate how it used to work. A really simple SSL is something that people use for their secure certificate. And the Elementor is like a drag and drop editor. So I'm curious about Profile Press, and I guess social sharing is just social media icons, I guess. But it's funny because I'm wondering if when you download them, he gets some sort of like credit for having sent you there. In particular, when you upgrade to the paid version of these plugins, because just like themes, a lot of people will make a free version of a plugin and then say, oh, you like this? You could pay a little more and do a lot more stuff with it. So then you end up feeling in for a penny, in for a pound, because you've spent an hour trying to customize it and you're like, okay, I could pay $5 and have this thing work better. Sure. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's some sort of incentive for him to be offering these.
The Astra starter sites, we'll click on that. That's going to allow us to install a fully functioning complete website, including a shopping cart in case we want one. Then we're going to download header footer for Elementor. That's going to allow us to build a free header and footer for our websites instead of having to pay a premium for it. Then we're going to download
Elementor is a drag and drop editor. Divi has a Divi builder built in, which is also a drag and drop editor. Basically, I think when Squarespace came on the scene, WordPress was like, oh shit, like people want the ability to be able to do this. And so a couple of sort of companies like Elementor and Divi built this drag and drop thing, and then WordPress added it into its interface automatically. They called the update Gutenberg, which I think is kind of ridiculous. It says revolutionary is the printing press, I'm sure. But basically, they were like, yep, Gutenberg, it's all drag and drop now. And then the web developer types were like, wait a minute, like this doesn't work as well as me being able to just get in the code view of the page and fix things there. So they made this way the classic editor so that we could get into the code view more easily, like it used to be.
Profile Press. And Profile Press allows you to set the icon for your blog instead of being whatever the default one is.
Oh, so it's called a favicon, the little teeny tiny icon that when you have a lot of tabs open, you see the little teeny tiny icon. Most premium themes will just let you change your icon without needing a whole other plugin to do it.
And then we're going to download social sharing. And this plugin makes it real easy for someone else to share your blog posts.
Okay.
And then we're going to download the classic editor. A lot of updates and changes have made to the WordPress environment. And by having the classic editor, as well as the classic widget, it ensures that we all see the exact same environment so that what you're following along on your admin matches what's in the video. Then we're going to download
one way to put
duplicate page.
That's one way to put it.
And duplicate page allows you to take a page you've already created and make a copy of it and then edit that to be your new page, which is significantly faster than building a page from scratch. Now we're going to download really simple SSL. And what this plugin does is ensure that the secure pages are the default for your website. And next we're going to download the WooCommerce Stripe Gateway. And the WooCommerce Stripe Gateway is what allows you to accept credit cards on your shopping cart in case you're doing the shopping cart.
And Stripe.com is the payment processor. So what you need to make an account on Stripe.com, and this plugin will allow it to interface with your website so that, when someone makes a payment, it actually goes into your payment processor so that it eventually goes into your bank account.
And now we're going to download WooCommerce Taxes and Shipping. And this gives you an automated way to do taxes and shipping in case you add a shopping cart to your website. And finally, we're going to download the WooCommerce plugin itself. And that's the plugin that allows us to add a free shopping cart to our website. So now all of those have been downloaded. I'll go ahead and close that. And now we want to go to our downloads folder. So I'll bring mine up. And it shows everything that we've downloaded so far. I'm going to go ahead and click on date. And that's going to allow me to see these in the order that they were downloaded. So now let's go back to our WordPress admin. Now we can choose Upload Theme. And now we're going to choose a file. And you want to go to your Downloads folder. Then we're going to select astra.zip. That's our theme. We'll choose Open, Install Now. And once it's installed, we need to activate it. And it's that little link right there. And that activates our theme. In almost all cases, you'll immediately be able to update it to the most.
I'm wondering if he's going to talk about child pages. So in WordPress, there's themes, right? He just installed one. There's several back here. But if you want to save customizations you do to the theme, what you want is to make a child theme. So the child theme is associated with the parent theme. In this case, it would be Astra. There'd be an Astra child theme. You make all your customizations in the child theme. So that way, when you update the parent theme, it saves your customizations while still being able to update. That's a sort of security measure and also oh my God, I lost all my work with my customizations. You don't want to feel that way. So that's why child themes are used. But I'll be curious if he talks about that.
This recent version. So we'll choose Update Now. Now our theme is updated. Now if we come back to our website and hit reload, you notice that it's changed a little bit. Still nothing like the site we're going to build, but we're getting closer. So let's go back to our WordPress admin, and we're ready to install the plugins we're going to need for our website.
No child theme?
So we're going to choose Plugins, Add New.
If he's been doing this for 20 years, he's got to know about child themes.
Now we want to...
Actually, WordPress, I don't think it's been around. I think it came on the scene in 2005. So I don't think WordPress has been around for 20 years. I started using it in 2007. I didn't quite start using it right away, but pretty close.
To do Upload Plugin, choose File. We want to be in a Downloads folder. And the first one we're going to do is Astra Starter Sites. So we'll select that, choose Open, Install Now.
I like the way he does this because then you're like, okay, here's the group of things that we're using. And so everyone has the same thing. When I do my class, I just typically have all of this done ahead of time. So when people walk in, they can just start working on the site. But this is another way to do it for sure. Is to just have the list.
Activate plugin.
Yep. He's just going to do this
Ready for the second one.
He's going to do this a bunch of times in a row.
Upload plugin. Choose file. The second one is header footer Elementor. Open.
Oh my God. I'm going to fast forward this part so that to spare you, but just know that he's going to do this like 7 more times to install all the plugins.
A few moments later.
Now at this point, if you're following along in the script, you'll see that we're not going to install the other 4 at this time. We'll take care of that later. So we've installed all the plugins we need for now.
Okay, we're back. He's skipping the SSL and the WooCommerce because we don't need that yet because we're not having a shopping cart. And you can use SSL, like even if you don't have a shopping cart, like it's still good for your domain name to load securely. So I don't know why he's necessarily skipping that one, but he probably doesn't want to get into turning on Let's Encrypt and making it work. That's a whole like 20-minute thing probably. So he's probably just wanting to make his life a little easier.
While Press may ask you to create pages, we're just going to do no thanks when it asks us that because we don't need that. So we'll go back to our WordPress admin. And another thing you're going to find is always a lot of little advertisements. You can close each of those and try to clean things up a little bit.
Except when there's something in red and it's, hey, Elementor header and footer builder requires Elementor to be installed. Yeah, like if something's in red on the top of your site, or even if it's in orange, feel free to read it and think about it or send it to your favorite web person because it's typically there for a reason.
It says to install Elementor. That's going to be taken care of a different way for us.
Okay.
Next thing we want to do is update our plugins. So we're going to choose to select them all, bulk actions, update, apply. And we can scroll down and watch it do its thing. Now all of our plugins are updated. And now we're ready to install our starter site. Now watch what happens when I click right here. I want to see the library. It's going to give me this, sorry, you're not allowed to access this page. Don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Usually it does. So I'll click the back arrow, and then we'll go back to the starter sites. When we click on C library again, it's going to work. What we want to do is scroll
Seems a little buggy to me, but okay.
down, choose build your website now, and we're going to choose Elementor, which is the world's most popular website page builder. So
Divi's the most popular theme and has Divi Builder built in, but I'd be curious what the market share is. I did a quick little aside to see if one of them had a bigger market share than the other. There's no information about that I could easily find, but some people say Elementor is easier to use. I'm used to Divi and I think it's pretty easy to use, but I guess it's all relative, right?
So we'll click on that. Now, for some reason you didn't have that option. For some reason, maybe you had already tried this before. Your option to choose would be up here as well. Now, what we're looking at right now are all the different website templates they have to offer. It's totally amazing what they have already pre-built. And basically, a lot of times you can find a website that's
So Divi has this too. What you want to look for if you're picking out sort of a page layout is, do I like the bones of the thing? So for example, if we look at the one in the lower right corner that says I'm web developer Natalie E. Watson, for that to work, you need a picture of yourself that is cut out that you can substitute in for Natalie's picture here. Even for the smoke and burger one right next to it, same idea, right? You need certain photographs for that to be able to work. But if we look at Lotus Spa, for example, or the office furniture one, we see that the header image on the top is more like panoramic. It's more rectangular. And more people have those kind of pictures to work with than maybe the kind of pictures they could easily make a cutout of. So basically, it's all relative. What you want to do is look for the bones of something you like. It's actually really easy to change things like colors, fonts, that kind of thing. What we want to do is see if we like the structure of it. And if so, pick that. And then you can obviously change out, oh, I don't like the Lotus Spa one. I don't like the tan background. Okay, we're going to upload a different picture with not a tan background in it. And I bet you'll like it. So just look for the bones that you like. It's kind of like if you go look at a house, right? And you're like, you love everything about it except you hate the paint color, or you want the porch steps to be swapped out. You're like, okay, well, if I like everything else about it, I can pretty easily change the porch steps, right? So point being is that you want to look for an overall sort of layout that you like and stuff that you'll be able to work with. And then you can customize it from there.
it's just about everything you need it to be. Now, there's two types of templates in here. If we go over to all, we can choose premium, and it shows only their premium versions. And if you decide on a premium template for your website, go ahead and visit wpastra.com/Webyoda, and this will guarantee you the best price.
And guarantee that I get my money for it.
In most cases, you can find a free site that'll work. And for this example, we're going to use a free site. So let's go ahead and change that back to all. Now notice there's lots of different categories that you can look through to find the particular one you're looking for. In our case, we're going to do one that's called cosmetics as our default. So if you type cosmetics in the box, you'll see that the ones that are available under that heading show up. And the one that we're going to want looks like this. In my case, it's the first one. It may be farther down the list. So you want to go ahead and click on that. And this brings up the starter site we're going to use to build our website. There's a number of options you can fill in here, but we're going to do all that ourselves later. So all we need to do is click on skip and continue.
Oh, it's right behind my head.
We're going to scroll to the bottom. We're going to choose continue. It's going to ask us a couple of questions. So let's go ahead and fill in the boxes. We'll put Yoda at webyoda.com. I am. We'll tell them we're intermediate and we're building our website. And I don't really want their newsletter right now. Scroll down, submit, and build my website. Now it's installing our starter site. And remember earlier, we didn't install Elementor ourselves. That's because it's going to install it here. So there's really no reason to add that extra step.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
This process doesn't take very long. I speeded it up just a little bit right here so that we didn't have to wait as long. Congratulations, installation complete. Took 33 seconds. They give you an option to view your website here, but we already have a tab to do that. And if we go to our second tab and hit reload, look at there, we've got a fully functioning website with a shopping cart already built into it. How nice is that? So that's for free from Astra Themes. And you could basically build any website they have in that collection, either the free versions or the premium versions, and start with a website that's already completed. I love it.
Yeah, and you're not at all limited by the category. So for example, like he's going to make an affiliate site, but this is supposedly for cosmetics, but she's not going to be selling cosmetics. I don't think anyway. So don't feel limited by the categories that it's putting these different page layouts in. You might see something that you like in the technology category, even if you're a bakery, and that's okay because he's going to be going through and swapping all this stuff out anyway. He's just has the bones of something that he likes. So that's why he's using that. All right. So it looks like the development environment is set up. He's got his theme in there, he's got his page layout, and I think this next part he's going to be spending customizing this page. So that'll lend itself naturally to a part 2. It seems like this guy does know what he's talking about when it comes to WordPress. I like that he took people through and explained like this is how you buy your domain name and all of that. I wish he was a little bit more straightforward about the fact that he's getting a financial kickback when you buy HostGator or when you decide to upgrade in your Astra theme or whatever. I think he should have said that explicitly. You're allowed to like something and still be an affiliate for it, but you do have to disclose that. I thought it was interesting that he spent time explaining some tech things like how to change the DNS of a domain name you already own. I feel like that's going to vary depending on where you bought the domain anyway. So I don't get why he wouldn't have said, hey, if you already own the domain, this is the kind of thing you're going to look for to change on the website where you bought the domain. It's called the DNS, so this is how you're going to look for how to change that. And because it's going to be different whether you're in SiteGround or GoDaddy or Enom or Namecheap, where those settings are vary. So I don't know why he got specific with the GoDaddy screenshot, and it's something that's going to apply to relatively few people anyway. But yeah, so far I think this is interesting. I still don't get how we're going to make $21,000 a month off of this website. Like I said, I could build these suckers all day and I should be making $21,000 a month if that was the case. But who knows? Maybe I'll learn something. I did learn the thing he showed us about the website installing part. Soft. I don't know how to pronounce it. My brain just can't remember. It's okay. So anyway, I'm looking forward to part 2 of this video. It's nice to watch a longer training. If you like that sort of thing, let me know. Obviously, it's not ideal to record things in multiple parts, but I've been recording here for 2.5 hours. This video is not 2.5 hours because I edit things, but for sanity reasons, going through a 3.5 hour training is just not feasible. So if you love these longer videos, where we're going more in depth into the trainings, let me know. Or if you don't like them, let me know. And if there's a certain guru concept, or even a particular training you want me to react to, you can leave it as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of our website to let me know there. And if you want to lightly keep in touch, we do have an email newsletter, which comes out once a month. So if you go to breakingeveninc.com/newsletter, you can see not only the form to sign up, but samples of past newsletters. So you can see what you're getting into if you like that sort of thing. And I encourage you, if you like this video, to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers so that I can monetize. But if you're still not sure, that's okay. There's a whole playlist called Nicole Reacts Online Marketing Gurus, which is on the YouTube channel. But it's also, if you go on the blog, there's a Nicole Reacts category and you can see all of the videos there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day and see you for part 2. Take care.